Robert Morris's Seattle home is surrounded by the vibrant, bright colors of his garden.
That's great.
But a phone call he received a few months ago was the beginning of a much darker story.
Made you anxious, like, oh God, we better, you have to do this because otherwise we'll be put in jail. That was it. We were going to go to jail if we didn't take care of this.
A man posing as a King County Sheriff's Department official was calling, saying Robert had overlooked a jury duty notice sent to him in the mail and was facing a $200 fine or possible jail time.
Knowing that we had missed mail and we actually had other people's mail in our mail, created part of the problem, thinking, oh, that's believable.
The fraudster directed Robert to pay the fine by buying gift cards at the supermarket and told Robert to meet him outside the King County Courthouse, which Robert and his partner nearly did until a store clerk intervened.
We had our $200 cash, but at least we didn't purchase the cards. We were stopped by beautiful people at the customer service.
Robert was lucky.
Let me think here.
But millions of other older people nationwide have been caught up in an alarming increase in robocalling fraud.
The number of robodials coming into the United States has gone up 60% in 1 year.
That's Doug Shadell, State Director of AARP Washington, who says the research shows close to 5 billion robocalls are ringing up our phones every month in the U.S.
Your social security number was used in the state of Texas.
Robocalling technology is inexpensive, and even if just a tiny percentage of people buy in, it's a payoff for scammers.
Fraud has always been sort of a numbers game. There's always a smaller subset of people who are really going to fall for a lot of these things, so they're trolling for that small number.
So I see this number here, I'm putting it into my spoofing software, I'm saving it, and now I'm calling you. As simple as that is, that took all of 60 seconds.
Security expert Chris Hagnaghy, working with Shadell and the AARP, figured out how to pose as the Orlando, Florida Police Department in less than 2 minutes.
So what I'm doing is I'm calling back the number you just gave me. Let me do that real quick.
You have reached the Orlando Police Information Desk.
Shadell says while 1 in 5 people would pick up a call from an 800 number, 6 out of 10 would answer a call from a local area code. One of the biggest lessons to learn? Caller ID, even if it looks like a local call, cannot be trusted.
So we're just trying to get people's awareness up that you can no longer rely on things like caller ID to know who's calling because it's so easy to fake it.
How easy? Even inmates are spoofing calls inside prison.
Can you give me his current phone number?
This undercover video, obtained by the AARP from an informant, shows inmate Jesse Lopez inside a state prison in Georgia. Using cell phones he bribed prison guards to get. Lopez posed as Officer Smith of the San Diego Sheriff's Office.
Hello?
When Kai Miller in San Diego saw the caller ID read San Diego Sheriff's Department, she answered the phone. Lopez, posing as Officer Smith, told her she missed jury duty and faced fines or jail time. Kai didn't believe the call was real and asked for the number of his supervisor.
Go ahead and present your ID and let them know that you'd like to just reload the card.
That connected her to inmate Joseph Tate, posing as Sergeant Dwight Garrison, which Kai looked up online during the call.
So as I'm Googling, he doesn't know I'm Googling, and sure enough, Dwight Garrison is our captain of the San Diego Sheriffs.
Kai was hooked and played her part in the inmate's script. She bought nearly $1,000 in gift cards, then read off the serial numbers to the criminals.
They were very professional. They used a lot of jargon as far as legal terms. I mean, they did their homework. They did their homework, and it was despicable, but they did it.
Our AG, Bob Ferguson's done a great job of strengthening consumer protection laws.
The AARP is doing its homework too, teaming up with Attorney General Bob Ferguson and other partners for Spoof Proof Your Life events in Seattle and across the state.
We can reach resolutions with entities that aren't playing by the rules.
The top 3 tips to avoid becoming a victim? Don't rely on caller ID. Also, consider getting a call blocking service like Nomo Robo, RoboKiller, or what your phone company recommends. Finally, report fraud immediately to the state AG's office.
to notify my office is so important because most of the work that we do, the cases that we bring, are because consumers complain to us.
It just happens so often.
And don't believe it's just your older neighbors like Robert getting ripped off by robocallers.
Scammers will take money from whatever age category is willing to send them money.
The AARP says fraudulent calls offering a fix of a computer virus most often find a target with 20 to 25-year-old males. The most likely victims of investment fraud? Financially literate men in their 50s.
I don't answer.
Robert has nothing to say to the 6 or 7 robocallers who now dial his home number every day. But, rooted in his own experience, he does have some words of advice for the rest of us. Stay aware the next time you pick up the phone.
If you're not knowing or thinking about it, they can take advantage of you.
Watch CityStream Thursday nights at 7 on the Seattle channel, or get video on demand and podcasts anytime at seattlechannel.org.